Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Cool and Calm. They call me just this.
I'm your boy Said, aka Mr. Let's Talk.
You already know it's the guest star PSD in the building. What's happening?
And we screaming out, let's talk.
What we talking about? That's your line. My bad, bro.
Hey, it's all
We
good.
talking about why women are raising their sons to be their homegirls.
Wait, hold up. First they was raising to be like their husbands. Now they raising to be like their homegirl?
Yeah,
Man, ain't gonna tell you.
Man, we got to talk about this one, man. It's an epidemic going on. You know what I'm saying?
Educate
And it's not everybody,
No,
but it's enough that it's the topic.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So I made the post, and I told y'all that a full discussion was coming. So I had
Here
to
it
get
is.
with the fellas, and we got this whole thing. We ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Be sure to drop a comment. You know what I'm saying? You can follow us. You can say whatever you want. We are a safe space. So however you feel.
We do
please,
not judge.
it's fine. Right. We listen and we don't judge.
And make sure you like the video too and share
Absolutely.
it with your people.
Absolutely.
Everybody.
Let's keep this conversation rolling. All right, so just to kick it off, you see the videos of young men twerking, and I'm talking about little young men, little kids. You know what I'm saying? 5, 6 years old. The mannerisms, the gestures, they dancing like dance girls in the marching band. You know what I'm saying? You see a lot of these videos, and it be the mama who be posting them, proud of this shit. You know what I'm saying? But they be the main ones saying, oh, all these dudes so emotional, they so sensitive. Well, you are literally raising the type dude that you say you don't like. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand this whole concept, this whole phenomenon. First, like you said before, they was raising their young boys to be their husband, or what they call sonsbins. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
Remember me and you talked about that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the sonsbin.
Raising them to be that male figure.
Yeah, the head of the
life.
household
And hate
at
when
10
you get a
years old and
girlfriend.
shit. Yeah.
Yes.
And-
keep
but
them
now-
in the house, keep them close. Yeah.
But now they raising them to be their homegirl.
Now, when you say homegirl, do you mean homegirl, or do you mean someone that they can talk to and relate to?
I think the first one, that hey, how you doing? That hey, how you doing? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, one of them.
The Wendy Williams.
Yeah, you
Okay.
know, and it's like, but I don't think they doing it
On purpose?
for them to be like that, but they
But once
making
you-
them feminine.
Once you open the door, it just runs its course.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because when you have a young boy, and let me say this too, caveat, I gotta say this. We're not talking about why the dad or the husband or whoever isn't there. That's a whole separate conversation. He might be a deadbeat or loser. We ain't talking about that right now. For some of y'all be like, oh, well, what about the man ain't there because X, Y, okay, and you're right.
But that's not what we talking
But that's
about.
not what we talking about, because we have talked about that before and got on the fellas. So this time we staying on task. We're gonna stay on topic with this one. But when you have a little boy, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, around a house full of women, all day, every day. She bring her homegirls and her sisters and their cousins. They doing hair, listening to Beyonce and
Twerking and
Sexy
dancing.
Red and all this other stuff. This is what these young boys see.
They gonna pick them traits up.
They gonna pick them up, even if it's involuntarily. They just gonna pick it up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then they're gonna grow up to be, because women are way more emotional than men, just naturally. These young boys gonna pick that up too. You see what I'm saying? And what I mean by that, even if they don't grow up to be gay, they're gonna grow up to be emotional, sensitive young men.
Is that always a bad thing?
Yet to me it is, yes.
Okay.
Because a man can't be as sensitive as a woman, as emotional as a woman.
Why? Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Because in his head, he's gonna be battling himself with natural testosterone trying to take effect, but emotion that he's seen and grew up with. You see what I'm saying? So now he's
Alright.
constantly battling
I'm confused.
himself. He don't know when to lash out, when to fight back, when to stand up for himself. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So he's gonna do it the way he's seen his mama do it, or his sister do it, or all these women that was constantly around him. When
So
they
he
lashed
gonna have-
out, when they didn't like X, Y, and Z.
He gonna have passive aggressive traits.
That can be it. It could be passive aggressive. He could be aggressive aggressive.
Yeah.
Because we all know that a lot of these young men now, the current generation, is very sensitive. They'll shoot the shit out you real quick. Very quick. And some of them were raised by strictly women. You see what I'm saying? And they are emotional as hell, but will shoot you.
So let me ask you.
Okay?
What's different now than back then when we were raised by women and we grew up fine, and they're raised by women and they grew up
Not so fine.
okay.
Well, okay, society was different. Society was different as a whole.
Okay.
Masculinity wasn't seen as a bad thing.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So even though we may not have dad, we had our uncles, we had granddad, we had the neighbor down the street,
Brothers,
you had,
friends,
you see what I'm saying? Friends, teachers, all these things.
Right.
But now masculinity is seen as a bad thing. How many times your uncle done whisper something to you, man, go holler at that girl, nephew. Man, go on get her, go on get her.
True.
You see what I'm saying? So, but now the uncle may have to tell you, hey, don't talk to that girl, man, she might try to get you in trouble. You see what I'm saying? If the uncle say anything at all, because he don't want to be involved with nothing.
The Me Too climate.
Because of Me Too and all this other stuff. So he ain't pushing you to go ahead, you know what I'm saying? Go talk to her, tell her this, say this. You know what I'm saying? So just as a whole, it's not that the masculinity, because these young boys are growing up with social media, seeing that being a man is bad. Being a masculine man is bad.
Okay.
Remember me and you had a conversation where I said, these young boys are only growing up two ways. Super soft or super tough.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
There's
it.
no in between.
Super soft or super tough.
Right.
And you like, what the fuck? Like, wait, how? Come on with it. What you got?
When you talk about the generational gap, especially even when I was young, but especially with y'all, especially even with like pop generation, you grew up with a lot of siblings. You had your cousins. You know, you went outside, you did a lot of stuff, so you were always surrounded by testosterone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nowadays you have some families where it's one kid, or it's that brother and that sister.
Right.
And like you said, it's a house full of women. If you're not allowing your son to go outside and be with his male friends and stuff like that, he's trapped inside. He's around all of the emotion, all of the hormones.
He's around
like that. So at least with people who were, you know, male only, it was like one son or a son and a sister, he could still go outside and be with his homeboys. Then you had the homeboy's dad or the homeboy's granddad or the uncle who could still.
You had another male figure in the area.
Nowadays, like you said, with the social media, kids being on their phones, they don't want to go outside, and then they're hanging around mama all the time.
Right, because masculinity is seen as a bad thing now.
Then you got to deal with that.
It's seen as a bad thing to be
Everything
masculine.
a man do is
Wait, let me correct that. It's seen as a bad thing when men are masculine.
Oh, yeah.
But when women are masculine, it's okay.
It's sassy now.
Because you can't say nothing. Right. Sassy.
So they don't want men to be masculine. It's okay when a woman's masculine.
Right.
If a man expresses any kind of question, emotion, confusion,
or
authority, he's sassy.
Yes. Or controlling.
I just saw something online last week about the rapper, and I don't want to pronounce it wrong, I probably with Doshi.
Oh,
yeah,
female rapper.
She said
dope
something
too.
about,
She's
she's really dope.
Oh yeah.
But
yeah.
she said something about men being sassy for like something, like
Oh,
not
yeah.
having red flags or something. I can't remember. But
She said she said a straight man.
a straight man.
A straight man is a red flag.
I saw Godfrey talking about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
See, and once again, that's an attack on masculinity.
It is.
You see what I'm saying?
It
So
is.
it's like everything we do, and these young boys see it.
Yeah.
So they growing up with this. I don't want them to call me sassy. I don't want them to do so. I'm gonna act like this.
Right.
I'm gonna act like that.
And I wonder,
You know what I'm saying?
Ask if that was supposed to be, because of course I didn't see her
It
whole
was-
thing.
it
Was she
was-
supposed to be like tongue in cheek, or was she really saying it like
No.
she meant
Well, see, Dochi,
Dochi.
she was having a sit down interview, and they were talking back and forth in a dialect. And in the conversation, she says, "What's the red flag to me?" Because the other girl was saying what's a red flag to her.
Okay.
And so she said whatever she said, and then Dochi was like a straight man, and they're like, "Girl, give it to me." And so basically, they were, because Dochi's bi,
Right.
but she prefers
Like most of
ladies, but she likes penis sometimes.
When it's convenient.
Right. But she, she had to choose. She's choosing this over this.
Well, that definitely ain't helping. That definitely is not helping the narrative nowadays when you have a lot of popular people, celebrities and such.
And that's what I was thinking when y'all were saying that social media is raising our kids, and this is what
people that will follow those celebrities and those trends.
Absolutely.
And now you got women leading women with this type of stuff. So now they looking at us, especially with the generations behind us, behind me, and behind bro. They looking at it like
you see videos of women arguing and running up in the faces of football coaches, talking about don't talk to my son like that. This is a football coach.
I mean, but you can't really say that because Diddy said the same shit when old coach was talking crazy to Justin. He threw it down.
Well, we see where that led Diddy. You see what I'm talking about? So that proves my point because, but seriously, like you see these videos and it's increasing. It's more and more women arguing. Don't talk to my son like that. You ain't got to be so rough with, ma'am. Go home and come back at the end of practice. Let this football coach be a football coach and let your son receive this discipline.
I mean, but everything in the world is dumbed down sensitively now.
And that's my
Even
point.
the military is sensitive.
And that's my point. And
Because
that's
when
my
I went
point.
through, it wasn't no stress card. Hey, you fucking bothering me, drill instructor.
No.
It was, bitch, get your ass on that goddamn quarterdeck and run these goddamn
Right.
miles.
And do what you got to
They
do.
got a stress card for the military now?
Yeah.
They got a whole bunch of things for the military.
Yeah, they got a stress card.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like
You can only
can't-
yell at them for so many hours. Then you got to start being nice to
They
them.
really abide by that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Bruh, it's ridiculous how everything is dumbed down now.
When I was coming through, if you made it through boot camp, they put you through what y'all called it last week?
Hell week?
No, not Hell Week. Well, yeah, we have a Crucible and Hell Week too.
Right.
But when you pass all that, the dude that you said, not the initiation,
Hazing?
hazing.
Oh, mhm.
We had a hazing ritual
Yeah,
where you walk a line.
allegedly.
You'd walk a line, and everybody would slam their insignia into you.
Allegedly, they did
Oh,
this.
okay.
Yeah.
But they can't do that no more either.
No. But once again, these are the things that we talking about,
Somebody
right?
died.
You see
That
so
kid,
many.
kid.
For me, especially a man of my age,
Allegedly.
I hate to see a lot of these little
I'm
boys
saying,
doing
when
some of
we
the
was
stuff
growing
and
up,
acting the way that they
there
be
was
acting,
there was news.
the mannerisms that they have, you know what I'm saying, just
Corporal
in natural conversation.
Killed somebody.
Natural conversation. To me, just it's like, come on, y'all can
But
do
it didn't
better.
happen like it
You know what I'm
happened.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, y'all. That shit bothers me.
See?
And I understand everybody, you can live your life, you're free to live your life,
Right.
but I'm free to talk about it too. You know what I'm saying? I'm free to talk about these things because we see it.
Right.
And it's not just something that's naturally happening. No. This shit is
Force fed.
force-fed. It's intentional. You know what I'm saying? Some of these people are intentionally raising their boys like
Right.
this. You know what I'm saying? Raising their boys like this, and then raising their girls a whole nother way.
I mean, but that's life in general. Parents treat girls and boys differently anyway.
Yeah, but now it's the opposite.
The mom treats the boy.
They telling the girls to be stand-up characters and go forward and blah, 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 and they holding the boys back and to be passive. You see what I'm saying? And to be this and to be that. And it's like, wait a minute. Why you can't teach both of them to be go-getters? You see what I'm saying? But don't teach your son to be soft as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then you questioning his sexuality a few years later down the line. You did this to him. You raised him like this. You see what I'm saying? With the, and even if he don't turn out to be gay, he just has the feminine characteristics of it. He walk a certain way. You see what I'm saying? He say girl. You know what I'm saying? Like girl. He talk like that because this is what he grew up hearing. She didn't want him to be on football team because the football coach was too aggressive. She didn't want him to go to his daddy's side of the family because they lived in the hood. She didn't want him to go over here because X, Y, Z reason. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So now all he know is these feminine characteristics. That's all he know.
Right.
Unless he get with a homeboy, the homeboy introduce him to a game. But they don't want that neither though. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, where is his masculine traits coming from? Then they're gonna be telling me he wrong, quote unquote, when his nuts drop, and y'all know what that term means. You see what I'm saying? And now he's smelling himself. He want to try to get him some.
You know what's going to end up happening? You're going to create a world full of baby boys.
If
you've seen it, then you know.
I mean, and that's a good example.
I hate that movie.
But if you
Nah,
see,
you don't hate that movie.
he had his, he don't like, yeah, we talked about it. But you see, he had his homeboy, right? What was his homeboy name?
Because of the blood in the room.
It wasn't that.
No.
Well, look, I'm just teasing.
What was Jody homeboy name?
Peanut.
Peanut.
Yeah.
Killer, right?
Killer.
I told you, you always
for real.
meet somebody who gonna show you
Yeah.
the street way.
Yeah.
And what did Tyree do? Latch on to that shit?
for yeah.
Knowing you ain't like this though, you a baby boy.
Because that's when he was riding, that's when he was tough.
Right. So, and this the same shit that when people grow up a certain way, then you get that one homeboy who introduced you to some real shit.
But I appreciate
Either you gonna stay far away from him or you gonna gravitate to this shit because you ain't never seen it before because your mama kept you sheltered.
But there's one thing I want to shout out for Peanut doing that. He prayed to the Lord first. What he did, what he had to do.
Oh yeah.
Let us pray.
But look,
You know what I'm saying?
okay, most gangsters are like that.
Let us pray.
You got
The ones that's
gangsters.
real like that, they don't really want to do this shit. They're not scared to.
Right.
But they might pray and be like, Lord, please don't let what's called saying, Lord, don't let me kill nobody tonight. You see what I'm saying? A gangster don't want to. He will quickly if he have to. But some of them. I'm just saying some of them. But
right.
and these are the ones who grow up like Peanut did in the movie.
Right.
Peanut was trying to change his life,
Right.
but it was still in him.
He made it long enough to live, right?
Yeah, you know, right.
But
Where
a lot of them that push
they
that
don't
line,
get to that point.
They don't get there. Yeah.
Right. But in that movie, he did the same thing with Melvin.
Yeah.
True.
With the Ving Rhames character.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? He had been to the pen, been down, came back,
He made it through that trial.
and was trying to, you know what I'm saying, show him something. He's seen, pardon my language, he's seen the bitch in him.
Yeah.
In Tyrese. Character. In his character.
Yeah.
He's seen it.
I mean,
and he was just trying to.
A person that's been through some shit is always gonna spot the weaker being.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But that to bring this all back, to tie this all in, that just shows that you need a male figure in the males, like in a young male.
You need a masculine figure.
A masculine
male
figure.
figure. I don't think a masculine woman figure.
You need
I
a
don't
masculine,
think that.
because with all that being said through that movie, at the end, Jody grew up.
Yeah.
Right.
Him and Melvin had a better relationship,
Right.
and everything like
Right.
that. So that's pretty much the tie that is.
Yeah, y'all be sure to drop a comment on this one. Share it with the people. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe,
Hit the
like,
button,
notification
get it
bell,
out there, get it out there.
all that good stuff. And with
It should
that,
be right there.
right there. In 3, 2, 1, right there. You know
With
what I'm
that
talking
being
about?
said,
What they said.
I'm still your host, Justice.
I'm your boy Said, aka Mr. Let's Talk.
PSD in the building one more time.
We out of time. Till the next time.
What we screaming?
Let's talk. Peace.